Tonight, game on, the final countdown to Perth's historic bounce down. Excitement across the city, with the big game just 90 minutes away. More than 60,000 WA footy fans are flooding in to take their seats here at Optus Stadium. Our home of football in the spotlight for the AFL's biggest day and a momentous night for Perth.
Also today, royal return. Perth's famous show is back with a new COVID clinic in Claremont. Fear in Fremantle, 2 women sexually assaulted, the hunt for their attacker. And crucial support, the leaders backing Australia in the face of Chinese threats.
This is a grand final edition of 7 News with Angela Sun in the studio and Rick Ardon and Tim McMillan live from Optus Stadium.
Good afternoon. There's a surreal excitement and happiness across our beloved city right now as the stadium behind us fills, backyard barbecues fire up and pubs are swamped with punters. Perth is right now not just backing footy, but also the nation, at a time when so many are in lockdown and the privilege of hosting the AFL Grand Final came our way. It's so young, but the spirit of the Matagara Bridge is in full flight, never having a grander day, as thousands pour across the Swan into our modern-day Coliseum. Well, the Melbourne Demons and the Western Bulldogs have now arrived and we're 90 minutes away from bounce down and the match to decide the 2021 flag winner. So the stage is set, our stadium is ready for history to be made.
Footy's biggest day, Perth ready for its moment. Our stadium, our city, our love of the game. Rory Campbell, 7 News.
There is no local side, but WA is kindly backing a rival on the AFL's biggest day, where being a fan of the game is more important than supporting one team. Tim McMillan joins us from inside Optus Stadium. Tim, it's hard to believe what's unfolding, isn't it?
Yeah, it sure is, Rick. The capacity here is 60,800, which would make it the biggest AFL crowd we have seen here at Optus Stadium. And I can tell you, the noise in here is building. The noise outside has been raucous for some time now. So the fans themselves are going to make sure that the players who have come here to play this grand occasion are in for a real treat.
These die-hard Demons have been waiting 57 years to get their hands on the Holy Grail. March to a final WA will remember for a long time. There's still thousands of people walking across the Matagara Bridge on their way to Optus Stadium for what is said to be the biggest day in WA football history. I'd say in the past 10 minutes it's just started to thin out a little bit. I think everyone is now well and truly set for what is going to be a spectacular afternoon. Rick?
Thanks, Anna. The saying is, build it and they will come. But when Optus controversially went up on this site, there were no expectations that it would break Melbourne's hold on the AFL Grand Final. Tim, we don't take this responsibility lightly either.
No, we certainly don't, Rick. The theme tonight is we got this and you've got this. The message from Perth and WA to the Victorians in lockdown tonight, who unfortunately for them have had to hand over this grand occasion to a stadium and a crowd that could not be more deserving. And the people here tonight will certainly pay tribute to those Victorians who are in lockdown, and standing among them will be the former Premier Colin Barnett, who really made all of this possible.
A world-class stadium taking shape on the banks of the Swan River. Who would have thought less than a decade later it would be hosting the biggest event on Australia's sporting calendar? Jacqueline Robson, 7 News.
And Joey Catanzaro joins us live from Optus Stadium now. Joey, most of the fans have arrived in time for bounce down. What happens after the game, though?
Rick, the Public Transport Authority has assured us that they're on track to move tens of thousands of fans by train and by bus after the game. Now, as you can see, most people have done their pre-match training. They're already inside. They're excited. They're ready for bounce down. It's estimated 80% of today's crowd used Transperth to get to the game, for the most part without a hitch. Rick, there's no need to take a car tonight either. The Public Transport Authority have assured us that they will have special bus services running for 2 hours after the final siren.
Thanks, Joey, with some excited fans there. Tonight's historic grand final isn't the only big ticket in town. Today, Perth's Royal Show was back with a bang after COVID cancelled last year's festivities. The event has sold out on its first day, but there was little interest in this year's new attraction, a walk-in vaccine clinic.
It's not filled with screaming footy fans, but it's returned like never before.
Our COVID-free way of life here in WA has given us the chance to host this historic game. It's a dream come true for footy fans right across our great state. And you can really feel the energy and excitement from the crowd already here. Ange, can't wait for the match.
Enjoy. Thanks very much, Rick. Now to the rest of today's news. Police are searching for a man who stalked and sexually assaulted 2 young women in North Fremantle. Detectives say the man came up behind the women at the intersection of Queen Victoria Street and Tideman Road around 12:25am on Monday before allegedly assaulting them. Police are hoping to speak with the man in this CCTV about the attack. Anyone with information is urged to call Crime Stoppers. Anti-lockdown protesters were no match for police on a 6th straight day of demonstrations in Melbourne. Today, the group hit another landmark. Officers arrested dozens of people who tried to gather at St Kilda Beach, but the small group of self-proclaimed freedom fighters was quickly outnumbered, eventually conceding defeat. Scott Morrison has secured the support of world leaders to counter China's rise in the Indo-Pacific. The Prime Minister sat down with members of the Quad Alliance today, wrapping up a week of crucial meetings in the United States.
4 leaders of 4 very different countries, but on the challenge of China, they're 4 of a kind. At the White House, Mark Riley, 7 News.
This is a special grand final edition of 7 News. Coming up, we cross back live to Optus Stadium as WA counts down to bounce down. More than 60,000 fans are set to take their seats for the biggest night in football live here in Perth. And our 7 News sports team is here with their hot tips for tonight's big game. That's next.
This Sport Report is brought to you by Tab Touch. Better your bet.
We're live at Optus Stadium with just over an hour to go until bounce down in this history-making game, the AFL Grand Final in Perth. More than 60,000 fans are streaming in here to take their seats for tonight's big AFL decider between the Melbourne Demons and the Western Bulldogs. A game which will go down in WA history, regardless of the result. Footy fans here have embraced the chance to throw their support behind rival clubs to make the most of a momentous night. The entire state is celebrating footy's biggest day at the moment as 2 teams battle it out for the AFL's ultimate prize. So let's go live now to our 7 News sports team, Adrian, Barich and Ryan Daniels. And guys, where will tonight's game be won and lost?
Well, Rhino, it's pretty obvious that it'll be won or lost in the midfield. I have convinced myself that the Bulldogs have a better midfield and a deeper midfield. I know that Gawn and co are very good, but Rick, how good is it to be here? How good is this? Western Australia.
Fantastic.
You are magnificent, and this stadium is absolutely fantastic. And we're so happy to be here, and we think it's going to be a cracking game. We do. And away we go, Rick. Back to you.
Thanks, Barra and Ryan. So now we're just minutes away from the entertainment kicking off here at Optus Stadium. The lineup is filled with homegrown WA talent, sure to put on a spectacular show for such a historic occasion. Excitement really is building here now, Ange, on what's turning out to be a perfect evening in Perth. Back to you.
It sure is ideal conditions for the grand final. Thanks very much, Rick. It's clear and 22 degrees at the stadium right now, but we've got some wet weather on the way. Stay with us. Your full forecast is coming up next. Perth has turned it on for Grand Final day. 23 was the city's max today and it got down to 11 early this morning. Skies staying clear for the rest of the day. There's a severe thunderstorm warning this afternoon for the goldfields for damaging winds, but apart from the storm, skies are clear around the rest of WA. Looking interstate, sunny but cool for Melbourne and Adelaide tomorrow. A few showers and 18 for Sydney, a shower or two and 24 degrees in Brisbane. Here in Perth, we'll see a shower or two tomorrow and a max of 20, looking at up to 4 millimetres of rain. It'll be damp again Monday. Showers forecast in the morning and afternoon, 21 the max. A possible shower late Tuesday and 22. Wet and stormy Wednesday with up to 15 millimetres of rain. A shower or two Thursday and the chance of a storm. The wet weather continuing Friday, 21 the max. And that's 7 News for now. We'll have the full Grand Final wrap on 7 News tomorrow night. But now it's back to the historic Grand Final in Perth. Let's throw back to the team at 7 Sport. Enjoy and good afternoon.